stop living life on autopilot. A lot of people live their lives on autopilot and they tend to really not think about what they're doing. Stop doom scrolling life, if I can. This is another way to put it, right? Stop doom scrolling your life away. What do I mean by doom scrolling your life away? Well, a lot of people, like I mentioned before, are living on autopilot, but they don't really think about what they're doing every single day. And they tend to just follow a routine without thinking much. And okay, wake up, get ready, go to work, come back, watch Netflix, eat junk food, watch TV, chill out, go to sleep, smoke some weed, maybe drink some alcohol, maybe, and then go to sleep, repeat. And then they repeat, and then they keep repeating it long enough. Then days go by, months go by, and then now they realize years have passed by and they're still in the same old spot. And they're still a loser sometimes. The reason why I say loser is because they realize that they haven't achieved what they have set forth for themselves in life. Like, if you ask them the question, did the 8-year-old you want this? Then let's see what people answer. Let's see what people answer. Whether a yes or no, right? In many cases, it's a no, especially for men. Because, as they say, a lot of men are living lives of quiet desperation. That's what they're living. And I'm here to tell you that it doesn't have to be that way, right? It doesn't have to be a life of quiet desperation. It's going to suck at the beginning to go and pursue your dreams because, or pursue whatever you have set forth for yourself or the goals that you have because you got to start over from scratch. A lot of people are going to make fun of you, hate you for it. You got to overcome all that. You're going to go through some challenges, you know. So yeah, of course, it's going to be painful, but that pain is worth it. Believe me, it's worth it compared to the pain of regret of knowing that you could have tried but you didn't. That's way worse than the pain that you face when you're trying to grow. So yeah, a lot of people don't really want to think beyond their routine because it's painful, right? Because if they have the routine in place because they want to forget their suffering, the pain, right? That's why a lot of people are depressed, right? Depression is a sign that something is wrong with your life. Or I believe that depression is a sign that something is wrong with your life, right? In most cases, of course, there are some fringe cases, extreme cases where it's a medical condition, and I don't know about that. But in most cases, for normal people, depression, and they say they're depressed, that means that there's something wrong with their life that needs to be fixed. For a lot of people, the depression will be solved if they just started waking up on time, going to the gym, um, going on walks, eating right, and then working on the goals that they have set for themselves. If they do that every single day, they know for a fact, okay, I'm giving it my all. I'm actually doing something that I want. I'm actually pushing forward towards the things that I want, the goals that I want, and I'm working on achieving them every single day. So I'm maximizing my day. So There's nothing to worry about, you know. I'm doing what I want to do now. So there you go, you know. Combine this with the physical activity of exercise and, you know, sunlight and walking every single day and, you know, going out there in the nature and things like that. You're going to have a better day. Your depression is going to reduce, of course, definitely. It's like Instagram doom scrolling, right? You you scroll one reel, you see one reel right on your phone, and then you scroll to the next. That's kind of addicting. Okay, okay. You get a hit of dopamine. Then you scroll to the next, and you scroll to the next, and you scroll to the next because you really can't stop. You know, the dopamine is too much, right? It's addicting. That's how people do when it comes to the days as well in life. One day, okay, you know what? I'm able to forget my pain. I don't really have to think about things. I don't really have to evaluate my life and go through that suffering, you know, go through that painful realization that I did do enough for. There's so much that I need to do, and there's so much, you know, regrets that I have and things like that. I don't want to do that painful self evaluation. I can avoid that by having this routine. You know, wake up, go to work, come back from work, smoke weed, drink alcohol, go to sleep. Watch some Netflix maybe before sleep, and then go to sleep. Scroll. Okay, day one completed. Next day, repeat, scroll. Another day has passed by. Repeat, another day has passed by. Day three. Repeat, 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 scroll, scroll. Scrolling through your days. And those days turn into weeks and months and years, you know, like I mentioned before. And then one day, you're sitting there, 60 years old, wondering what the hell happened in the past few decades. That's what's going to happen if you don't take your life seriously. In order to combat this, I have a exercise that anybody can follow, right? Journaling. If you can journal every single day, just take a pen and paper, right? And then start journaling. Journal every day, right? You don't have to be William Shakespeare or who are good authors. William Shakespeare or Robert Greene, you know, who wrote um, the mastery book and the 48 laws of power. You don't have to be, you don't have to write at the quality of world renowned authors. What you need to do instead is just write on what you experienced at that day. That's all. Just write down, okay, I did this. This could have been better. These are the wins that I had for the day. These are the losses that I had for the day. These are things that I could do better. How am I going to fix it? Anything interesting that happened during the day? Many challenges that you're going through. Any the successes that you've had, like I'm interview food, any wins. Write that all down. Just an observation, just a law. That's all you need to do, man, for journaling. You don't have to write fucking paragraphs and essays and things like that. You're not trying to write an exam. You're not trying to clear the word limit for the essay or thesis or whatever. All you're trying to do is just write down, okay, this is what I had, what you experienced during the day, what could have been done better. That's it. Just a real raw self evaluation for the day and any observations that you've had. That's all you need to do. And if you can get a little bit more granular and then write down, okay, from this particular time to this particular time, I did this. From this particular time to this particular time, I did that. Basically, a time log that I mentioned in my previous video about productivity. If you can create a time log for yourself every single day, you're going to be extremely productive. You're going to do so much more because your days are going to be so much better because, like I mentioned before, you're being granular. You're writing down everything down. you know. So the mind understands that, hey, this guy is auditing everything. I can't be bullshitting around here. So I got to be more productive. You automatically turn out to be productive because you're being conscious about what you're doing, right? Another exercise in order to improve your focus and your concentration that I would recommend is meditation. Yes, meditation. I would recommend you meditate to 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. You could even do 30 to 60 minutes if you are a pro at it. I do 10 to 15 minutes, that's all. But if you can meditate every single day, boom, your your mental clarity, your mental peace, your mental stability, all that will improve. Your mental health in general will improve. Your focus levels will improve. You'll be way more calm. You'll be a lot more calmer. Um, your life will improve significantly. There are a lot of other health benefits and medical benefits that meditation has or it offers. I'm a spiritual person, so I pray whilst meditating, right? So I don't know about you, but I would recommend you pray and meditate together, right? So there you go. With that being said, stop doom scrolling your life away. Stop scrolling through the days and stop doom scrolling the days away and live your life consciously, right? Live your life with awareness. And if you can just do that, I promise you your life will improve because it's way better than letting the days slip by and then one day again you'll be 60 and you'll be thinking, what the fuck did I do these last few decades? If you're in your 20s, early 20s, I would highly suggest you start right now because you have a chance now. You have a you have a golden this is your golden decade, like your prime, the prime of your life, the peak prime of your life. These 10 years, 20 to 30. This applies to me as well. So yeah, um, utilize these years to the fullest. Don't let it slip away. You know, of course, enjoy your life, but pursue the things that you actually want to. That will improve your life and will set up your life. Set up your future as well. So that you can live your later years as well with the same joy and um, liberty that you had in your 20s. Don't be the fucking grasshopper, right? That's all I could say. The end of the grasshopper story, where the grasshopper just wastes his days in the summer, just eating food, just being a lazy ass piece of shit. And then, but the ants are working hard, they're stocking food, they're setting themselves up for the future. And then, boom, winter comes by, the grasshopper can't find food anymore, but the ants have a stockpile of food. They're set for the winter, but this guy's going to starve to death, right? Now, this is a children's tale for most. So to make it child friendly, they made it. They made sure that the ants gave the grasshopper food, but in reality, the grasshopper. My version is the grasshopper fucking died. Right? It died due to starvation because that's what happens. You can't help yourself, or no one else will. Especially if you're a lazy piece of shit. So, with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.